Now, the next person I am really excited about because I've been bragging on her all week. Let me bring her on. Ceri, hello.
Hello, I hope it's all been good.
Yes, of course. So what I do on the boot camp is on the third day, and someone said, I still don't know how to build my mailing list. So we're going to talk about this because Ceri listened to me and she put it in place. So if you missed the third training, which was the Friday training, that was all about market magnetism and mailing list magic. And I talked about that in the boot camp, and Ceri took me seriously. So, Ceri, tell us your story. Tell us what you were doing before you came into the boot camp, and tell us what you're doing now.
Okay, so I'm a teacher. I'm still a teacher, but now I'm a teacher that works for me, not for a local authority, not for a head teacher, not listening to Ofsted, not listening to Eston, just me. And I teach maths to neurodiverse children and children who are maths anxious. And Tech Pixies transformed everything for me. So before I come to Tech Pixies, I had a customer. I had one client. I had one student who I still have, just one. She's still going, bless her little heart. And now I am fully booked.
Tell us what fully booked is.
So fully booked for me is I have 21 students that I look after. I teach for over 30 hours a week to those 21 students. And I am now branching out into setting up group lessons for children with maths anxiety in the daytime who are home educated, and anxious children who are sitting their 11 plus exams in Kent. From September, they'll have a group with me as well for an hour a week. And on top of that, I have set up a Facebook community, which unfortunately isn't as active yet as Tech Pixies are, but we're getting there. Last week, we broke 100 members. And of those 100 members, 87 of them are on my mailing list. And they have weekly blog posts from me. They have a poll that they fill in to tell me how they're feeling, what they're up to, how I can best support them. I give them the results of the poll before, and they get the sneak preview, so the early access into group lessons and things like that as well.
I love your emails. I've been getting them. So here's what's really cool about your email. So someone said, well, how do I do an email list? Well, Ceri will tell you how she did it, but you created a post, you put it onto your Facebook feed, and then you shared it, I think, on your personal feed, but then it got a bunch of shares. Like everyone, it went viral. Like you posted in the group, your win was like, this thing went viral, guys. It got shared lots of times.
And 66 times.
66 times it got shared, right? And then people were signing on to your mailing list. And here's what I thought was really special about you. So one of the things we say on the Sunflower Effect is you got to create weekly content. So you've been doing this. You've been doing this weekly content, the weekly poll. You've been sending it out, etc. But one of the things that I love that you did at Christmas time, and this is where I was like, she's going to nail this. At Christmas time, you sent out an email about gingerbread making. And you said, look, gingerbread, building gingerbread houses and making gingerbread is like really good for kids because they got to measure, they got to do maths and all stuff. And it's a fun way to kind of get them engaged, right? And of course, your company is Engage Education. And I just love that. I loved it so much. And we used your recipe in our own house to make our own gingerbread houses, which were just brilliant. But I think it was just so special. It was so unique. And it was such a great way to connect with people. And when you posted in the boot camp, you posted your vision board. I don't even know if you remember this, but your vision board said you wanted to have 5 paying clients. And then you're on a coaching call with me and you're like, Joy, I can't actually physically take more clients, right? So you were at 20 at that point. You've just let one more sneak in there. But it's really been interesting to watch your journey. And you said one of your wins was that you hit your revenue targets pre-Christmas.
Yeah, I never thought I would hit it pre-Christmas. Like I said, before Christmas, I would have been over the moon if I had 5 paying customers. And I have let one more sneak in. I shouldn't have.
Did you raise your prices?
I have raised my prices. I've raised my prices for my existing clients to £28 an hour, and new clients from September will be £30 an hour. And my 11 plus 1-to-1 has now gone up to £35 an hour, which is the going rate for it. So I've backed myself. I've listened to you, Joy. I've listened to you.
Well, I told you to go to £50 an hour, so we'll get
You
you there
did, you
eventually.
did. I'm getting there slowly, right? Slowly,
Yeah.
slowly.
No, I know. But now, are you comfortable talking about what your financial situation was before and now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about that, because I think people need to hear this.
So when I joined the boot camp, I was blown away. The whole mindset side of the social media. So it wasn't just social media, it was looking after me as well, which is something I'm really rubbish at. I think it's a teacher thing. We put everybody else first. And as a teacher as well, you're always told that social media is bad. The terrible things that can happen to you on social media, they can cost you your job, they can cost you your life. Everything can go wrong if you use Facebook. So I was a bit worried that my business needed Facebook. And I did the week and I was like, actually, Facebook isn't scary. Social media is okay. Joy seems to do all right with social media. She's got a job. She's doing okay. And then at the end of the week, there's the announcement of the big course, and I was so excited. And it was entirely out of my price range. I was having universal credit, and I had one customer. There was no way I could dream of it. And I ammed and I ahed, and there was the scholarship opportunity, and I was like, oh, but it's for other people who deserve it more than me. And I had that exact conversation with my partner, and I was like, but the other women deserve it more than me. And he was like, why? I could give him a million reasons of why I wasn't good enough and why it shouldn't be me. And he refuted every one of them at me. He was like, well, that's not true because you've done this. That's not true because you've done that. That's not true. If I went into your last classroom and asked the last 36 children you taught if you were rubbish, none of them would say yes. He said, look at all the cards. He got all of the things out that I'd been given over my teaching career. The thank you letters, the notes, the key rings, the notebooks, the little pieces of paper that kids draw a picture on that mean the world to you. And he was like, they don't think that. So I applied for the scholarship, and I was incredibly lucky, and I have the scholarship, and I am so eternally grateful for that. It has transformed my life. In 90 days, I went from being on universal credit and not knowing where my next payment was going to come from to being a fully booked, incredible business, which today I've been invited to a national podcast for educators to be a guest on a podcast, which I never thought would be me. That's what other people did. That's not why.
I've got you. I don't know if you can see my goosebumps, but I've literally got goosebumps. I mean, and can you just tell, just in case anyone's wondering, where in the country you are as well? Let's just talk about that.
So I'm in a very cold, very wet, and very windy Wales today.
Wales. You're not even in London. You're not in,
nope.
I mean, this is what I love about your story. There's so much I love about your story. The fact that you were on universal credit, now you're off. Let's also just, let me just touch on the scholarships for a second, because we've already closed the doors for scholarships for the program. You had to have applied by last Thursday. And if you didn't apply, and if you were like Ceri and you thought, well, who am I want you to come back and apply in July. If Ceri's story resonates, and if you've missed the deadline, we can't give you a scholarship now. We've already issued all the scholarships, but we can consider you in July. So I would love for you to come back if that's you. If you've missed the boat this time, come back, because as Ceri will tell you, it's worth it. And we are a social enterprise. Tech Pixies is a social enterprise. We give a very large percentage of women scholarships who are on universal credit, PIP, ESA, who come from BAME backgrounds, LGBTQ plus backgrounds, and 60 plus backgrounds. And I think it's so important for our community, because also, the community is a diverse community of people from all sorts of different backgrounds. And it means that we're not all one type of person, right? And there's not one way of thinking. In fact, it's this beautiful creative synergy from just different parts of the country, different backgrounds, etc. So, Ceri, first of all, I want to say thank you for coming on. I want to say thank you for listening to your husband. I want to send your husband a gift. But I'm so proud of you. And, like I said to you on the coaching call, like, I can't wait to see what 10 years is like for you, because I look at the last year and I just think, wow, like, look what she did in a year, and everyone always says, people underestimate what they can do. They overestimate what they can do in a year, and they underestimate what they can do in 10. And, the important thing is, that you do you now believe what your husband believes and what the other parents believe in yourself?
I do. I don't have much choice. My lovely students tell me every single day. I have some really tricky little customers that I teach every day. They're all neurodiverse, nearly all of them. They're all anxious about maths or life or something. And all of them find going to school and things like that pretty tough. And then when they come home, they have another lesson and they are amazing. And every week they tell me, but I make the effort because you make the effort for me. You made me a resource just for me. You planned a lesson just for me. You work just for me. And at Christmas, I had some lovely little Christmas cards from them. And I had a lovely Easter egg this year from one of my students, because we were having a conversation. We both have unusual spellings for our names. And he was like, isn't it annoying that you never get anything with your name on? I was like, it is. It is annoying. Everywhere you go, it never has your name. So he bought me an Easter egg with my name on from Thornton's. And it was just so sweet. It was just so thoughtful. And he did it out of his own pocket money because he wanted me to have something with my name on it. And when you have a child that does something like that for you, you know you're making a difference to that child's life. They want to be there, doing something. And none of these children would be having this support without Tech Pixies. Because without Tech Pixies, I wouldn't have known how to access any of that or how to manage any of that. So,
well, and that goes to receiving.
Tech Pixies doesn't just change my life; it's changed another 21 families that I teach lives as well.
Well,
so on behalf of them, Joy.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but what I was going to say is it's so important to receive that from your students. And I'm going to receive that from you because I'm so thankful. So thankful. We need more Ceris in this world. And thank God you found us, literally. We're buddies. But thank you, Ceri, so much. I cannot thank you enough for being a part of this community and also for listening to what I said and doing it. I said, the sales are in the mails, ladies. That's what I said on Friday. And Ceri, are the sales in the mails?
Yes, they really are. The sales and the community is all in the mails, because the more you do it, the easier it becomes. So the first ones I was doing were a bit all over the place, and I set up a free guide for people, which was really, really popular. That's what went viral. And now I've got my little group and I email every week. Sometimes it's really profound and sometimes it's like, I walked up the mountain today, guys, and it was great. It completely depends on what's going on, but they build that trust with you. Joy always tells us about know, like, and trust, and it is so, so important. And the mails is definitely where the sales come from, because you let them in every week.
Angela says, I need my Tech Pixies hanky. Jane says, I'm blubbering now. Kaz says, blubbering away here in Devon. Jenny says, wishing you so much continued success. And there is someone that wants to reach out to you who's a teacher. So I will see if I can, Libby Bromwich. So will you tell us where people can find you that want to connect with you?
So on Facebook, I'm Engage Education. Is my business page. On if you join the program and you find me in the group. So on Facebook, I'm Ceri Ryan. Feel free to drop me a message. And that's probably the best places to get me. I'm on LinkedIn as well.
Okay. Oh, thank you. So wonderful to have you here. What a blessing to have you in our community. Thank you, Ceri.
You're welcome. Good luck, ladies.